Chapter 11 Impact on Level 24. Qian Tong Selfishness, please read it. Please collect it. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the blink of an eye, 3 days passed, after receiving the news from Qian Tong, so you stopped developing the blue-silver domain and headed towards Wanhu Building. Brother Su, this is the purple moon orchid. Purple moon orchid absorbs the essence of the sun and moon and is an excellent medicine that can be taken directly to improve physical fitness. However, the number of years required to improve physical fitness is somewhat high. After the purple moon orchid breaks through for 1,000 years, it will begin to condense the origin of the purple moon and have the effect of consolidating the origin and cultivating the essence, and this purple moon orchid is only 1,000 and 1,100 years old. The origin of the purple moon in it is extremely rare, and the value of taking it is greatly reduced. However, after being absorbed and used as a soul ring, it can also greatly stabilize the origin of the martial soul, especially since Su Yu is only the second soul ring now. With the 1,000-year-old purple moon orchid soul ring, it is enough to take his blue-silver grass martial soul one step further. Maybe it's okay to change. Zayulan was already extremely weak, and Su Yu held a dagger to understand her life. A lavender soul ring slowly rose from his body. The faint purple halo is so eye-catching. 1,000-year soul ring. Su Yu took a deep breath, sat down cross-legged, and pulled the soul ring around himself. The body-quenching method operates. After experiencing the absorption of a soul ring and experiencing the process firsthand, Su Yu also had a plan for the absorption process: run the meditation method and the body-quenching method. It was daytime at the moment, but he could still draw the power of the stars. The power of the stars enters the body, and after being nearly half refined by the martial soul, it circulates in the body. At this moment, the soul power in the soul ring just poured into Su Yu's body. The power of the stars was of high quality, coupled with Su Yu's control, and working with Su Yu's own soul power, he quickly suppressed this soul power and guided the soul power to flow in Su Yu's body. My own soul power has reached its limit, so I can use semi-refined external energy. This is Su Yu's idea. When a soul master reaches the 10th level, he can no longer improve his soul power. The amount of his soul power will not change. Instead, he does not know where it is stored and cannot be mobilized. It can only be revealed after absorbing the soul ring. Or, continue to practice soul power, refine the vitality into your own soul power, and then use it to compress the soul power to form a higher quality soul power. However, this process is cumbersome, and it is likely that more than 90% of the converted soul power will be wasted. Therefore, absorbing external energy after breaking through the entire 10th level is extremely cost-effective to increase the power you have mastered. However, this is not the case for energy that has not been completely refined. So you had half-stepped to refine the power of the stars, but the amount had not been wasted by compressing the soul power, nor had it been completely refined and hidden in an unknown place. The power of these stars can be controlled by Su Yu at the same time. It is equivalent to him gaining more power. This makes it easier to suppress the impact of the soul power. The more impact of the soul power in the soul ring is resisted by Su Yu's existing soul power and the power of the stars. The pressure on the meridians will be smaller. This is also Su Yu's confidence to absorb the 1,000-year soul ring. It seems that Brother Su is well prepared. Su Yu just groaned twice, and then there was no movement. The soul power in the soul ring continued to flow into his body and was steadily refined by him. The second ring of the millennium. The bet is right. Qian Tong was very excited. His investment this time was very successful. However, he had to suppress his inner excitement, because there was still a big difficulty in absorbing the soul ring, and that was the subsequent absorption of the soul ring's origin. In the blink of an eye, time passed. 3 hours have passed since Su Yu absorbed the soul ring. Night falls. The power of the stars is even more intense. Su Yu's own soul power, the power of the stars, and the soul power of the soul ring, 3 forces were operating within him. As it circulates, the soul power of the soul ring is also refined bit by bit by Su Yu. At this moment, after the initial impact crisis of the soul power in the soul ring, Su Yu instead controlled the soul power of the soul ring to assist in refining the power of the stars. A large amount of star power entered the body and was refined by Su Yu with the help of soul power far exceeding his own. The process of absorbing soul rings is the most active state of martial souls. It only takes a few hours to refine a soul ring, but it can be directly upgraded to a level, which is evident in its efficiency. That's why Suyu had to make good use of this process. He believed that after absorbing the soul ring, his soul power would be greatly improved. Level 23 is guaranteed. After all, the soul power of the 1,000-year soul ring is very huge. Suyu used the power of the stars to absorb and refine it with almost no waste. It also uses these soul powers to assist in refining the power of the stars. In addition, Suyu had also stayed at level 20 for 3 months before, and had accumulated a lot of soul power. With the support of various factors, Suyu is guaranteed to reach level 23. On this basis, there is great hope for reaching level 24. In order to hit the 24th level, Suyu can also slow down the process of refining the soul power of the soul ring. In order to refine more star power, Suyu naturally had to slow down the absorption process. The time of the entire process depends on the external soul ring. After the soul ring is generated, it will dissipate within a few hours. And if you connect with a soul master and start the absorption process, this time can be greatly extended. This made Qian Tong, who was protecting Suyu, anxious. It's been 3 days and 3 nights, why hasn't Suyu started refining the soul ring source? Then if it is not refined, the original power of the soul ring will begin to dissipate. While Qian Tong was anxious, there was finally some movement on Suyu's side. The purple soul ring emitted light and began to gradually integrate into Suyu's body. The process of refining the origin was extremely smooth. 3 hours later, Suyu slowly opened his eyes, and a powerful wave of soul power emitted from his body, rising like a broken bamboo, gradually rising. It took a long time to stabilize. Brother Su, you have finally absorbed it. After Suyu's breath stabilized completely, Qian Tong spoke. His words were complaints, but the excitement could be heard in his tone. Do you want to test your soul power? That Suyu nodded, received the soul guide device used to test the soul power and input the soul power into it. Level 24, Qian Tong exclaimed, completely unable to sit still. He was originally a very calm person. After all, he had to negotiate business in the process, but at this moment he couldn't hold his breath. You can't blame him. After all, Suyu's situation is really shocking. Absorb a soul ring and break through level 4 in a row. Everything is expected. Only Suyu's performance was relatively dull. It took him 3 days and 3 nights to break through level 24. Isn't it natural? Brother Su, are you leaving? Qian Tong seemed to have thought of something and asked. After absorbing the Millennium Second Ring, should Suyu also leave? No, I plan to continue practicing for a while and wait until my soul power reaches level 30 before I leave and go to the Sun and Moon Empire. Suyu said. Qian Tong's eyes flashed. Brother Su is indeed sensible, and his persuasion is effective. It's not that Qian Tong has any objection to Shrek, but that he really feels that the Sun and Moon Empire is more suitable for Suyu. Of course, there are still selfishness. In Qian Tong's view, it would be almost inevitable for the Sun and Moon Empire to unify the continent within 50 years, let alone 100 years. And when the time comes, what is his way out? Chapter 12. Let's go to the Star Forest. Meeting Huo Yuhao for the first time. Please read it. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Spring passes and autumn comes, time flies. 2.5 years later. Finally broke through. Suyu breathed a sigh of relief, opened his eyes, and a ray of light burst out from his eyes. Level 30. Now, Suyu is 12 years old and 30 level cultivation level. There may be other examples in Douluo continent, but the difference is that Suyu's innate soul power is only level 3. Compared with other 12-year-old soul masters, he spent 1 more year practicing to break through to the 10th level. Suyu was surrounded by a sea of blue-silver grass, filled with a rich breath of life. After a total of 5 years of hard work by Suyu, all the blue-silver grass here have evolved into soul beasts. Even half of them have been soul beasts for 10 years. The bonus to cultivation has been doubled. And this doubled bonus, Suyu has developed into the martial soul activation technique. In addition to practicing these years, he has developed his own soul skills and perfected the art of martial soul activation. After level 30, it will definitely not be as good as it is now. You can practice completely in a mimetic training environment. It is necessary to perfect the martial soul activation technique. Brother Su, have a nice trip. Su said goodbye to Qian Tong and left Huangyue City. His goal is the Star Do Forest. After many inquiries, Su determined the time point where he was. The current emperor of the Star Luo Empire is that Su Jiuzhou's elder brother Su Jiawei. The next Continental Advanced Soul Master Academy Soul Fighting Competition will be held in a year, and the host is the Star Luo Empire. In other words, now is almost the beginning of the plot. It just so happens that I also want to get a soul ring. Let's go to the Star Do Forest this time. Huangyue City is located in the southeast of the Star Luo Empire. Su drove at full speed on the road, and it took him half a month to reach the border of the Star Do Forest. Moving on, Su smelled a scent. This is the smell of grilled fish, right? Su's heart moved. Couldn't it be such a coincidence? He followed the scent and searched for it. A handsome boy in clean gray cloth clothes, about 11 or 12 years old, a 15 or 16-year-old elegant boy with short blue hair, with a gentle smile on his mouth. Next to them, there is a girl with a ponytail, and the aura of youth hits her face. Hey, were you also attracted by the smell of grilled fish? The girl seemed to be arguing with the blue-haired boy. When she saw Su coming, she asked enthusiastically. That's right. Hello, my name is Tanya, this is Bebe, and the brother of grilled fish is Yuhao. My name is Su. I can smell the fragrance from a long distance away. Can I eat with you? Okay, I'll catch some more fish later. Huo Yuhao, who was grilling fish seriously, did not refuse Su. Su looked at Huo Yuhao and carefully observed the pair of pupils that sometimes emitted a bright white light. Your martial spirit is amazing. Hearing Su's words, Bebe was stunned. After observing Huo Yuhao carefully, she discovered the difference in his eyes. Yuhao, it turns out your eyes are martial arts souls. Tanya was so surprised that she asked directly. Huo Yuhao hummed, my martial spirit is my eyes, and I named them Lingmu. At this time, the fish in his hand was already grilled, and he handed it to Su. Brother Su, here you go. Thanks. Su took a bite and praised it repeatedly. In return, let me give you a suggestion. Huo Yuhao and Tanya Biabai both looked over, wanting to see what suggestions Su would give. When we meet by chance, what valuable advice can you give? Your martial spirit is spirit eyes, a rare true martial spirit. In your case, your innate soul power may not be high, but what I can tell you is that your martial soul is the top martial soul. Only the Numenon sect knows the development and cultivation of the Numenon martial spirit best. If you want to fully tap the potential of your martial soul, going to the Numenon sect is the best choice. The advice given by Su is very good. The Numenon sect is the best choice for Huo Yuhao. Moreover, the ontology sect treats every owner of the ontology spirit as a family member. The environment within the sect is also the most harmonious, which is very suitable for you. Thank you, Brother Su. Huo Yuhao was very polite and thanked Su for his advice. Yuhao, actually our Tang sect is not bad either. Seeing Su recommending the sect to Huo Yuhao, Tanya suddenly became anxious. Although what Su said was indeed good, she had already fallen in love with Huo Yuhao. Even Bebe frowned, preparing to say something to win over Huo Yuhao. Tanya may be greedy, but Bebe knows the original martial spirit and its rarity. Although he didn't understand the characteristics of the original martial soul, and just combined his age and existing soul power, he didn't have a high positioning of Huo Yuhao's spiritual eyes, but he could hear the meaning of Su's words just now. Huo Yuhao's spiritual eyes may be at the very top level among the original martial arts spirits. Tang men. Huo Yuhao grew up listening to the stories of Tang's sect and Shrek, and knew about the existence of Tang's sect. When Tanya saw Huo Yuhao's appearance, she puffed up her chest proudly. That's right, Tang's sect. I am the current Tang sect leader, and Bebe is the Tang sect's senior brother. Huo Yuhao seemed to be more interested in the Tang sect than the Numenon sect, which he had never heard of. Su did not continue to persuade. Since he was a stranger, his advice was definitely not as contagious as the story of Huo Yuhao's mother growing up. Yuhao, although our Tang sect does not have the training method of the original martial soul, we do have the method of training the eyes, the purple demon eyes. When used in conjunction with your spiritual eye training, the effect is excellent. Beibei's analysis is spot on and he states his own advantages. Huo Yuhao was very active when listening to the story, but in the end, the three people's proposals were never accepted, no sect was chosen. He may seem enthusiastic, but in fact he is very closed-minded. As soon as they met, he was a little wary of the three of them. After eating the grilled fish, Huo Yuhao said goodbye to the three of them. Brother Beibei, Sister Tanya, and Brother Su, I'll leave first. Yuhao, this place is in the wilderness, very close to the star forest. Where are you going? Huo Yuhao shook his head, smiled and waved goodbye to the three of them, then turned and left. Oh, Yuhao must be going to get the soul ring. Tanya patted her head in frustration. Brother Yuhao is alone, and his soul power seems to be very weak. What if he encounters danger? That she rolled her eyes and looked at Beibei aside. Beibei, how about we go help Yuhao? Beibei wiped the corners of his mouth and nodded. Since you have decided to recruit Yuhao into the Tang sect, and you have eaten so much grilled fish, you must protect him for a while, let's go. By the way, Suyu, do you want to come with us? Tanya was very enthusiastic about Suyu, and she felt a very friendly atmosphere from Suyu. I didn't give you any money either, let's go together. Brother Su, are you here to get the soul ring too? On the way, Beibei Tanya asked about Suyu's situation. Yes, I have reached level 30. I need to obtain a soul ring and break through to the soul master. Chapter 13 Electrolux Choice, God of Killing finally has hope. Please read it. Please recommend. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Level 30, Tanya exclaimed, her mouth formed an O shape, and she looked at Suyu with a cute expression. Brother Suyu, you are only 12 years old, right? Just turned 12 a month ago, 12 years old. Level 30. Even in Shrek Academy, he is a genius. Wow, Brother Suyu, are you going to join Shrek Academy after you get the soul ring? Beibei and I are both students of Shrek Academy. Suyu shook his head. Shrek Academy is not suitable for me. What Qian Tong said was not unreasonable, not to mention that compared to Shrek, Suyu was more eager to learn soul tools. Even the Sun Moon Empire's records on martial soul cultivation will be more standardized and more in line with Suyu's thoughts. From an intuitive point of view, it is more data-oriented. How could it not be suitable for you? Shrek Academy is the #1 academy in the mainland. Suyu shook his head and smiled silently. Beibei also interrupted Tanya's continued speech. By the way, little brother Su, what is your martial spirit? It just so happens that Tanya also wants to obtain the third spirit ring. We can look for the spirit beast together later. My third soul ring may have higher requirements. It's okay to be demanding, we Beibei are soul masters. Tanya patted Beibei on the shoulder and told Suyu not to worry at all. The third soul ring, I want a soul ring that is about 5,000 years old, preferably 6,000 years old. Cough, 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 cough. Beibei suddenly coughed violently for a while, and it took a long time to recover. Little brother Su, the third soul ring generally absorbs soul beasts that are less than 1,700 years old. The 5,000 or even 6,000 years you mentioned are very difficult for the soul sect to absorb. Beibei did not say anything about himself. Is it possible to hunt a soul beast of this level? My second soul ring is already 1,000 years old, and I also know my own physical quality. What's more, the spirit beast I want to hunt won't have very high combat power. After asking Suyu again about his request for the soul beast, Beibei Tanya stopped talking. They were immersed in the shock of Suyu's second 1,000-year ring. Ahead, Huo Yuhao didn't know that there were 3 people following him. He was in crisis at the moment, 10 years of wind baboon. After a thrilling battle, Huo Yuhao relied on the white tiger dagger to successfully kill the wind baboon. Just when Huo Yuhao was debating whether to absorb this soul ring, which was not a spiritual attribute, a voice that could not hide its mean nature in its excitement sounded. Finally, I met a human being with spiritual attributes. It's a pity that I don't know how to shed tears, otherwise I would have burst into tears. Under Huo Yuhao's shocked gaze, cracks appeared on the ground in front of him, and a faint golden-white light could be vaguely seen shining in the cracks. The cold air escaped from the cracks, and the surrounding temperature began to drop significantly. A big insect with a round head and a fleshy appearance slowly crawled out. This is a silkworm baby. But it is different from ordinary silkworm babies. His whole body is white jade, crystal clear, with a halo flowing under his skin, and a pair of small golden eyes on his head. What's strange is that starting from half a meter away from his head, there is a surrounding golden pattern at regular intervals, a total of 10 golden patterns from beginning to end. Huo Yuhao has fallen into despair. With such a large body and this cold aura, it couldn't be a century-old soul beast, right? It's over, it's over. Don't be afraid, I won't hurt you. Huo Yuhao was surprised and said, "Are you talking to me?" "Of course I am. Are you fascinated by my beautiful body?" That there was no malice in Tianmeng Bingsan's words, and Huo Yuhao gradually relaxed. "What are you going to do?" Tianmeng Bingshan said, "Let me introduce myself first. I am the embodiment of hero and chivalry. I am the king of soul beasts with equal emphasis on wisdom and beauty. I am an unparalleled strong man. I have set a record in Douluo continent. I am Tianmeng Bing who has millions of years of cultivation. Silkworm. Well, you can call me Brother Tianmeng." That without enough time to explain more, Tianmeng Bingshan glanced warily towards the depths of the Star Do forest and said in a solemn voice, "I'll explain to you later, I'm about to start. Don't worry, I will be gentler, I won't it hurts you too much." After saying that, he began to actively integrate into Huo Yuhao, and the 10 golden halos around his body seemed to come alive, moving up and down. Suyu felt that the world instantly darkened, as if the entire space was broken. A huge pressure that made it difficult to breathe came. There was an indescribable majesty in the old voice. "Holding the sun, moon and stars in my hands, there is no one like me in the world. I never thought that I would still have a trace of my soul left in the world." Before Suyu fell into coma, he clearly heard this voice. Is this little guy an outsider too? The gray air flow entered Suyu's mind, and an old voice murmured to himself. Humph. What kind of power is it interfering with me? As if he felt something, the old voice was very dissatisfied. A force separated from the gray air flow and enveloped Suyu. Then it turned into a gray bead the size of a soybean, suspended in Suyu's spiritual sea, and there was no movement anymore. Outgoing, spirit world, a majestic figure stood there, with long aqua-blue hair, a luxurious blue robe that seemed to have ripples of water, and a touch of blue in his eyes, as deep as the sea. The man frowned and sighed. Behind him, a woman in a pink dress and long scorpion braids stepped forward, gently hugged the man's arm, and put her head on his shoulder. Third brother, did something happen on Douluo continent? Alas, the fate of the child of destiny seems to have been changed, but with the god realm and a force blocking it, I can't see clearly. Suyu slowly woke up, rubbed his swollen head, and suddenly noticed something different. He closed his eyes and felt the existence of a world, that is his sea of spirit. His mind entered the sea of spirit, and he saw the gray bead suspended above the sea of spirit. This is Electrolux. Although Suyu didn't know why Electrolux chose him, he couldn't hide his excitement. When he was reading novels in his previous life, the character he regretted most was the character Electrolux. He even read another novel because of this character and endured reading it for more than half a month before seeing the part where the other person appeared. Since you have chosen me, I can guarantee that there will never be any accidents like those in the original work, and I will try my best to help you complete the incomplete spiritual consciousness. Suyu said silently in his heart. Electrolux's choice gave him great confidence. The God King's peeping eyes? Don't be afraid. No matter what the position of the God King is, Suyu is no longer worried. At least, with the presence of Yi Lao, who almost has the power of a real god, many of his ideas are more promising. Suyu tried to call Yi Lao, but received no response, so he had no choice but to withdraw from the Sea of Spirits. He got up and woke up Bebe Tanya beside him. Ah! What happened just now? Why are we all unconscious? There must have been a powerful soul beast passing by, and it was so frightened that we all fell into a coma. Ah! Then what about Yuhao? Tanya hurriedly pulled Bebe Suyu and rushed forward. Please vote for recommendation. Brothers, I heard that the new book list seems to be based on recommendation votes. If you have votes, please vote for it. Thank you very much. Chapter 14 Rejection Again, please read it. Please recommend. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Looking at the winged baboon's body, the huge cracks on the ground, and Huo Yuhao lying on the ground, the three fell into silence. Winged baboon. Isn't it possible that Yuhao absorbed the soul ring of this winged baboon? His martial soul has spiritual attributes, and this winged baboon's soul ring doesn't match him at all. Is he in danger? When a soul master absorbs a soul ring, he is not only limited by the age of the soul ring, but also needs to have matching attributes. After all, the soul ring's origin must be fused with the martial soul. If there is no match at all, a conflict in the origin is likely to occur. Compared to Tanya's anxiety, Bei was a little calmer and carefully observed Huo Yuhao's condition. Xiaoya, don't worry. Yuhao's aura is very stable, and the soul power in his body is much stronger. If I guess correctly, he should have successfully absorbed the soul ring and has become a soul master. Immediately, Bei sighed. It's a pity that the first spirit ring is only 10 years old. Tanya put a hand on Bei's ear and said dissatisfiedly, Humph, isn't it just that the first ring is a little weak? It's already pretty good that Yuhao can kill the winged baboon alone. Ah, yes, Xiaoya, put your hands down first. Huo Yuhao woke up quickly. When he opened his eyes, he saw Tanya with a worried look on his face, and Bei Suyu beside him. Am I really not dreaming? That recalling everything just now, he still had a dreamlike feeling. Tanya reached out and pinched Huo Yuhao's arm. Ah, it hurts. Sister Xiaoya, what are you doing? Hey, look, it hurts, right? This means you're not dreaming. Huo Yuhao also came to his senses. A million-year soul ring, for soul skills, these are all true. And with all this, revenge no longer seems so unattainable. Tears welled up in Huo Yuhao's eyes. Tanya looked a little distressed when she saw Huo Yuhao. What kind of experience would it take for an 11-year-old boy to come alone to a dangerous place like the Star Do Forest to hunt for soul rings? Tanya didn't understand Huo Yuhao's past experiences, but she sympathized with him. Yuhao, although your first spirit ring is only a 10-year-old winged baboon, there is no need to be discouraged. Tanya Biabai comforted Huo Yuhao, but Huo Yuhao was also stunned and did not refute. He also had no intention of telling others about the existence of Tianmeng Ice Silkworm, but Tanya Biabai was able to comfort him at this time, and he was moved in his heart. But Yuhao, do you know how dangerous it was just now? After comforting him, he then blamed him. Tanya told him about the dangers of Huo Yuhao's behavior. Huo Yuhao, however, listened quietly to her accusations without any dissatisfaction, because he can feel that this is caring about him. Ever since he was a child, he had never felt this kind of care after his mother passed away. Although it was a different form, he really enjoyed it and gradually let go of his inner guard. After Tanya scolded him again, he began to ask Huo Yuhao about his next plan. Yuhao, now that you have obtained the first soul ring, what are your plans next? Huh? I don't know either. Huo Yuhao was a little confused. He just had a hatred to support him and wanted to become stronger and take revenge, but he had no plan. He suddenly thought of the Numenon sect mentioned by Suyu. I thought of Tanya and their Tang sect again. Why don't you, Yuhao, join our Tang sect? Although our Tang sect has declined, our heritage is still there, and our Tang sect has the qualification to be exempted from the examination of Shrek Academy. Shrek Academy. Huo Yuhao heard another familiar name, Tangmen, Shrek. These are the names in the stories his mother told when he was a child. He instinctively yearned for these two legendary names. What Tanya said had already moved him. Sister Xiaoya, then I will join the Tang sect. Very good. Then Sister Xiaoya, what do I need to do to join the Tang sect? You need to continuously improve your cultivation, become stronger, and take the revitalization of Tang sect as your own responsibility. Our Tang sect has the qualification to enter Shrek Academy without taking the exam every year. Bei and I are already students of Shrek Academy. The spot will be yours if you join the Tang sect, and the most important point is that if you join the Tang clan, you will not be betrayed for the rest of your life. If you quit the Tang clan one day, you will have to give back all the Tang clan's unique skills. Suyu grinned as he listened. Huo Yuhao didn't think there was anything wrong, but still expressed his intention to join the Tang sect. Tanya was very happy. Beibei also congratulated Huo Yuhao and celebrated his joining. Yuhao, let's become a disciple. We are only 3 people from the Tang clan, so it doesn't have to be so complicated. If you worship me, you can change your name to teacher from now on, and you will be a member of the Tang clan from now on. Huo Yuhao nodded, knelt down in front of Tanya and bowed down. Okay, Yuhao, you will be the second disciple of the Tang sect from now on. Beibei is the senior brother. You will be called senior brother Beibei from now on. Tanya accepted Huo Yuhao's 3 bows and said. I've met senior brother. You're welcome, little junior brother, we will be a family from now on. Beibei smiled slightly and pressed her belt. A black belt inlaid with pieces of round white jade appeared. Junior brother, this is a soul guide modeled after the Tang sect ancestor Tang San's 24 bridges of bright moon night. It can be regarded as a greeting gift for senior brother. With it, it will be more convenient for you to carry some things in the future. Tanya also took out a book from the storage soul guide. Yuhao, this is our Tang sect's Shen treasure record. It records the Tang sect's Shen Gong and various secret techniques. One of the secret skills, the purple demon eye, is very suitable for your spiritual eyes. You must practice it well. There is still a unique skill in Shen Gong. Beibei and I will guide you in your practice. Huo Yuhao took the belt, mastered its use with Beibei's help, and put the Shen Bao given by Tanya into the belt. Huo Yuhao succeeded in getting started. Beibei turned around at this time and invited Suyu again. Brother Su, don't you really think about it, that the Tang sect has declined and is in very bad condition? Even the sect was lost not long ago. These changes have made Tanya breathless. Beibei saw everything and wanted to share some of the pressure with her. Suyu's talent is excellent. If he can join the Tang clan, Xiaoya's pressure will be relieved a lot. It's a pity that Suyu is destined to have no such fate with them. With a heaven-defying understanding, Suyu doesn't want to be just a first-level god. Moreover, marriage, chance, etc. are all subject to manipulation, and it feels like it would be better to just die. Can you believe chastity locks? Well, that's it. Brother Bei, thank you very much, but the Tang sect is really not suitable for me. Please vote for recommendation. Please read it. Please collect it. Chapter 15 Suyu, Level 30 Great Soul Master, Martial Soul Blue Silver Grass. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 15 Suyu, a Level 30 Great Soul Master, has a martial soul, blue silver grass. That's such a pity. Beibei regretted that Suyu did not join the Tang sect. However, we can still continue to hunt soul beasts together. Suyu said. Eldest brother, and brother Su, do you also want to hunt soul beasts? Huo Yuhao asked curiously after hearing what Suyu said. Pfft. Tanya smiled, nodded Huo Yuhao's head, and said, Yuhao, are you stupid? What else can we do in the Star Dough Forest if we don't get soul rings? Huo Yuhao scratched his head, feeling a little embarrassed. But Yuhao, you are wrong in one thing. It is me who needs the soul ring this time, not Beibei. When you get the soul ring, this sect leader will be a veritable soul master. Tanya put her hands on her hips, feeling very proud. At the age of 15, she was able to cultivate the blue-silver grass martial spirit to level 30, and she indeed had the qualifications to be proud of. Ah, Huo Yuhao was extremely surprised. Teacher Xiaoya, who was only 15 years old, was already at level 30. Blue-silver grass, level 30 at the age of 15. Although he knew that there was a legendary figure thousands of years ago who cultivated the blue-silver grass martial spirit to the point where others looked up to him, however, it is still a consensus that Lan Yin Chao is a useless martial spirit. Sister Xiaoya can practice to level 30 at this age. It must have involved hardships that would be unbearable for ordinary people. Huo Yuhao compared himself to himself and cheered him up. Sister Xiaoya has not given up, so I should work harder. What's more, I have brother Tianmeng and a million-year soul ring. The ones who need soul rings this time are Yuhao, Xiaoya and Su Xiaodi, but Yuhao, you have absorbed the soul ring, and next are Xiaoya and Su Xiaodi. Bei stood up and suggested that each of them introduce their abilities, only in this way can we cooperate better in the next soul hunt. Senior brother, teacher Xiaoya, brother Su, my martial spirit is spirit eyes, and my first soul skill is spiritual detection sharing. Huo Yuhao was very realistic and showed off his spiritual detection sharing as he spoke. Of course, his reality is only to a certain extent. His first soul ring had a total of 4 soul skills, but he only revealed the effects of 2 of them and explained them as one soul skill. Bei Tanya was shocked. They didn't expect that the soul ring of a 10-year-old baboon could have such a terrifying effect. Is this mutation too much? Even Su Yu, who already knew Huo Yuhao's soul skills, was extremely shocked by the vivid scene that appeared in his mind. Knowing and experiencing it are completely different feelings. Bei, level 38 Soul Master, Martial Soul Blue Electric Tyrannosaurus. Huo Yuhao was obviously shocked, and he had a better understanding of Bei. Although he didn't come into contact with many things, he had heard about the reputation of the Blue Electric Tyrannosaurus Rex from his mother's stories. After the introduction, Bei also performed martial soul possession. 3 soul rings, 2 yellow and 1 purple, surrounded his alienated arm, the best soul ring ratio. It's my turn, Tanya, a level 30 Great Soul Master, a martial soul blue silver grass. Tanya also summoned the martial spirit. A purple-black blue silver grass appeared in her hand, and 2 yellow spirit rings floated around her body. So you carefully observed Tanya's blue silver grass and was speechless. Is that what it is? The blue silver grass has been cultivated into poisonous grass by you, so you thought that Tanya's martial spirit was mutated, and seemed to be the dark blue silver grass with the ability to devour. Although there are factors of variation, it is more of an accumulation, right? That the inheritance mechanism of the Tang sect leader is very stupid. He must be a soul master with the blue silver grass martial spirit, and they are basically inherited from the same origin, and this lineage is cultivated according to Tang San's path. The blue silver grass that circulates in the blood has long been corroded to its roots. Examples like Tanya's are both accidental and inevitable. After Tanya showed off her martial arts, it was finally Su Yu's turn. The 3 of them looked at Su Yu and were very interested in him. Su Yu, a level 30 Great Soul Master, martial soul. Su Yu paused deliberately and continued, Lan Yin Chao. What? Su Yu, are you saying that your martial spirit is blue silver grass? Su Yu looked at the 3 people and was very satisfied with their shocked expressions. Tanya Biabai and Huo Yuhao were all shocked. Su Yu reached level 30 in cultivation at the age of 12. They thought Su Yu was some kind of powerful martial spirit, but they didn't expect it to be blue silver grass. My martial spirit is blue silver grass, with innate 3rd level soul power. I don't have twin martial spirits. Su Yu explained lightly to prevent the 3 of them from guessing. Moreover, it seems to be an explanation, but in fact it is not just showing off. Level 3 innate soul power. After 6 years of practice, he has advanced 27 levels, which is an average of 4.5 levels a year. This terrifying speed made Tanya, who had personally experienced the difficulty of practicing blue silver grass, despair. What a freak. Tanya, if you believe me, change the direction of your martial arts training as soon as possible. Adding toxins and so-called toughness to blue silver grass, the price-performance ratio is too low. Tang San's strong performance in the early stage was because he had many Tang sect methods to cooperate with him. In addition, the soul beasts he hunted were all top-notch, and the absorption process was almost perfect for the martial soul. This makes up for some of the disadvantages, but in the later stage, when they encountered the geniuses of each academy in the Soul Master competition, the gap became apparent again. After hearing Su Yu's words, Tanya just hesitated for a moment and had no intention of following Su Yu's suggestion. She was following the path of Tang sect's ancestor Tang San, that is a clearly recorded existence of a god, and his deeds have been circulated on the Douluo continent for tens of thousands of years. Forget it, it's up to you. Su Yu's soul ring request had been mentioned to Bei and the others before. Now that they know that his martial spirit is blue silver grass, I believe that the 2 of them also know what he is referring to in terms of the development direction of his martial spirit. but obviously, Suyu does not have authority. He shook his head and did not continue to exhort. He released his blue silver grass martial soul, and 2 soul rings, one yellow and one purple, floated up and down. Huo Yuhao was shocked. Aren't the lifespans of the first 2 soul rings either the limit or the yellow 100 years? Suyu looked at the boy's shocked expression and complained in his heart, "You are astonished." Suyu's blue silver grass and Tanya's blue silver grass gave people completely different auras just by summoning them. Tanya's blue silver grass gave off a dangerous aura, with barbs and poisonous hooks on it, and the purple-black lines reminded people of poison at a glance. As for Suyu's blue silver grass, it gives people a breath of life. The surging vitality makes people feel happy and comfortable. Bebe asked curiously, "Brother Su, is your blue silver grass the auxiliary system?" That this smell of blue silver grass, coupled with the request of the soul beast Suyu wanted to hunt, made Bebe have no choice but to think this way. However, given the development path of the auxiliary system, how come the second soul ring is 1,000 years old? This is another contradiction. That's why he asked. "No, I am a battle soul master." Chapter 16 Exploding Sky Pepper, a perfect match. Please recommend. Please read more. You are listening at novelfull.audio. You can think of me as a control-type battle soul master, or you can think of me as a power attack type. As for the strength of my combat power, you don't have to worry about it at all. Suyu said this while also demonstrating. The soul power in his body was circulating, and the blue-silver grass in his hand grew crazily. Blue-silver crit gun, that the blue-silver grass entangled and surrounded each other, and the front was like a spear point, thrusting fiercely. Bebe had a clear feeling that with the activation of this soul skill performed by Suyu, the blue-silver grass exuding the breath of life seemed to change instantly. It's not that the tip of the gun gives people a sharp aura, it's that kind of momentum that gives people a great sense of oppression. Boom. Blue-silver grass impacted on the big tree ahead. The big tree is 1 meter thick in diameter and is directly penetrated by the blue-silver grass, and after piercing through the big trees, the blue-silver grass continued to attack, and finally penetrated 3 big trees. Gudong, Huo Yuhao swallowed, and even Tanya Biabai looked solemn. This terrifying destructive power is indeed worthy of an attack-type soul master. Bebe was shocked because just now he was very sure that Su used 2 soul rings. Were not flickering, either it was covered up by special means, or it was a self-created soul skill. And covering up doesn't seem to be necessary. Brother Su, it's okay. We already know your strength. Although Su Yu's demand was for a 5,000-year-old soul beast, the target was only a plant-type soul beast, and there was no requirement for attack power. Bebe felt that they could still handle it. The group of people searched outside the Star Doe forest for a long time. Whoosh. A black shadow flashed towards the 4 people. There was a purple flicker in Bebe Tanya's eyes. It's a mandala snake, and it's 1,000 years old. Bebe, I want him. Tanya recognized the mandala snake, judged its age, and said in surprise, Bebe has completed the possession of Wuhuan. On the other side, Suyu also reacted quickly. Blue-silver wall, thick blue-silver grass rises from the ground, and the blue-silver grasses are intertwined to form thick tree-like pillars. Multiple pillars are arranged side by side in front of the 4 people. Boom. The figure of the mandala snake stopped abruptly. Moreover, this collision also made him a little dizzy, and he did not dodge Bebe's attack immediately. Bebe's right arm has swelled, covered with dragon scales, and 3 soul rings, 2 yellow and 1 purple, surrounded. He directly lit up the first and third soul rings. The first soul skill, Thunder Dragon Claw. The third soul skill, the Fury of Thunder. Although the Datura snake is a step slower, it must avoid the moment it senses the crisis. The blue-silver wall immediately disintegrated, and the blue-silver grass entangled itself into thick vines. The binding of blue-silver, the strong rattan trapped the Datura snake tightly and prevented it from escaping. Bebe rushed forward, violent lightning flashed on his body, and the sound of thunder and lightning exploded on his right arm. Boom. The thunder dragon's claws slapped the mandala snake on the head. After a mournful cry, the Datura snake almost lost its life. However, the soul beast is tenacious, and Bebe stopped at the last moment. Although the mandala snake was hopeless, it could still survive for a while. Xiaoya, Before Tanya had time to take action, the mandala snake had already been subdued. He immediately stepped forward, took out a soul guide dagger, and stabbed the mandala snake at 7 inches. 2 hours later, Tanya opened her eyes with a look of surprise and excitement. Yeah, Bebe, I'm the soul master, that she kept repeating excitedly that she was the soul master. Congratulations. Teacher Xiaoya, congratulations on becoming the soul master. Su Yu and Huo Yuhao also sent their blessings. Now only Brother Su's soul ring is left. The 4 of them continued on their way. Unfortunately, the lifespan of the soul ring required by Su Yu is a bit high, and it is difficult to see it outside the Star Do Forest. However, if you go deep into the Star Forest, it will be very dangerous. In Huo Yuhao's mind, Tianmeng Bingxi was also a little anxious. He wanted Huo Yuhao and the others to leave the Star Do Forest as soon as possible, and it would be best not to come here in the next few months or even years. He didn't want to stay on the outside, let alone go deep. Yuhao, go to your left rear. Huo Yuhao was stunned when he heard Tianmeng Bingsan's instructions. Brother Tianmeng took the initiative to give directions, and he naturally trusted him. However, when Teacher Xiaoya was looking for the soul ring just now, Brother Tianmeng didn't give any hints. Huo Yuhao didn't think too much. He simply thought that Brother Tianmeng just happened to have clues about the soul ring that Su Yu needed. Seeing that they hadn't found the target for so long, he offered to help. Elder brother, let's go in this direction. Huo Yuhao spoke, attracting the attention of Bebe and the others. This side is closer to the border of the Star Do Forest. Bebe frowned. I feel that there may be gains in this direction. Huo Yuhao classified everything into intuition. Yuhao is a spiritual soul master, and his intuition is very sharp. Moreover, being further out is no more dangerous than going deeper, so let's go there first. Su Yu said, after hearing Huo Yuhao's directions. Su Yu knew where he got the information. Although I don't know why the insect pointed the way at this time, it's always good to have direction. The big bug guide can't be some random soul beast, right? Definitely a good choice. The 4 of them followed Huo Yuhao's guidance and came to a valley. As soon as they entered the valley, the 4 of them could clearly feel a fiery breath. This is the exploding sky pepper, Bebe exclaimed, reminding the other 3 to be careful and slowly move away from the valley. Exploding sky pepper. Su Yu also recalled information about this kind of soul beast. This is the most unpredictable type of plant spirit beast, a fiery red grass and vine-like spirit beast that can bear pepper-like fruits. Each of its fruits contains a large amount of vitality, which is in an explosive state and may explode at any time, causing horrific damage. The reason why it is unpredictable is because the attack method of exploding sky pepper is the self-explosion of its fruit. If you are strong, it is easy to hunt this kind of soul beast, and you can quickly kill the opponent's fruit before it explodes. It doesn't matter if you are weak, as long as you plan properly to avoid the fruit from exploding, and ensure that you are not affected when the fruit explodes. The fruits of the exploding sky pepper need time to condense. It is difficult to regenerate in a short period of time. Without the exploding sky pepper, the remaining grass vines have no means of attack. The only danger is that if the plan goes wrong and the explosion of the exploding pepper is affected, serious injuries may occur. However, Su Yu and his party were not afraid of this. Huo Yuhao's mental detection sharing ensures that the 3 of them can accurately grasp whether the exploding Tianjiao fruit is about to explode. Su Yu has long-range attack methods and flexible control of the blue-silver grass, and can also restrain the exploding sky pepper. Bebe masters the thunder attack and attacks with explosive thunder. When stimulated, even if the explosive sky pepper itself does not cooperate, it can detonate its fruit with external force. Perfect match. Chapter 17, The Method of Soul Ring Sacrifice. Please read it. Please recommend it. Please call. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Brother Su, Huo Yuhao reminded Su Yu, the fiery red pepper expands violently, and the energy fluctuations in it are frightening. Su Yu's soul power had long been integrated into the surrounding ground. In an instant, countless blue-silver grasses took root and sprouted, firmly binding the pepper and fixing it to the wall. At the same time, the 3 of them quickly moved away. Boom! The deafening explosion shook the entire valley. Suyu also controlled the rest of the blue silver grass and tied all the remaining fruits of the exploding sky pepper to the nearest valley wall. Bebe saw the right moment and lit up his second soul ring. The second soul skill, Thunder, Huo Yuhao's mental detection sharing was fully activated, providing the two with a field of vision and allowing Bebe to control his soul power to a higher level. The thunderous thunder struck at the exploding Tianjiao fruit, boom. Boom 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 boom. The successive explosions made the entire valley collapse. The soul beasts in the valley collapsed to the ground one by one. Even the soul beasts outside the valley were frantically moving away from the valley as if they were avoiding some terrifying existence. It has to be said that the exploding sky pepper is really terrifying in terms of bursting out its vitality. To be able to create such a terrifying fruit, of course, its shortcomings are also obvious. In addition to the explosion damage of the fruit, the vitality of the exploding sky pepper itself is also terrifying. After all, condensing fruits itself is a huge loss of vitality. Only with sufficient vitality can a large number of fruits be condensed. Moreover, when the fruit explodes, it will easily affect the body of the exploding sky pepper. In order to minimize the risk of being killed by itself, the exploding sky pepper must evolve in the direction of becoming more vitality during its evolution. This is also true, all the fruits exploded, and basically all of them affected the body of the exploding sky pepper. However, its body still survived tenaciously, so you also had to sigh with emotion at its powerful vitality. At the same time, people began to look forward to the effect of the soul ring of the exploding sky pepper. Blue-silver crit gun, that the blue-silver grass entangled and condensed, and rushed towards the core of the exploding sky pepper, boom. As the spikes formed by the blue-silver grass pierced the life core of the exploding sky pepper, the exploding sky pepper also died completely. Above its life core, a dark purple soul ring slowly rose, so you lit up the first soul ring. The first soul skill, the power of the stars, that the power of the stars poured into the body, quickly restoring Su Yu's soul power and condition. This is Su Yu's first soul skill. The soul skill obtained from the star spirit vine can speed up the recovery of soul power. At the same time, if applied to the martial spirit, it can also greatly increase the regeneration ability of blue-silver grass. In other words, as long as the blue-silver grass is not destroyed instantly, it can be quickly restored. In addition, absorbing the star spirit vine itself also provides Su Yu's blue-silver grass with huge vitality. Later, the second soul ring of purple moon orchid also provided Su Yu's blue-silver grass with huge vitality. Coupled with its effect of strengthening the foundation and cultivating the vitality, Su Yu's martial soul underwent a transformation. Su Yu's blue-silver grass gives people a feeling of vitality, which is the most striking feature after transformation. In terms of martial soul quality, not only is it comparable to the blue-silver king, it is at least almost as good as the blue-silver king. After absorbing this 5,800-year-old exploding sky pepper soul ring, Su Yu's blue-silver grass will completely reach the level of the blue-silver king. Even stronger than the average blue-silver king, this is the effect of the single attribute limit attached soul ring. Su Yu's transformation after absorbing his second soul ring was to awaken the life attribute of blue-silver grass. This is an inherent attribute of blue-silver herb, so Su Yu did not call this evolution, but just classified it as the exploration of potential, which is a transformation. Su Yu's first soul skill recovered very quickly, and it took only 3 minutes to replenish his state. He pulled the dark purple soul ring around his body. The previous movement was huge. Before Su Yu absorbed the soul ring, Huo Yuhao had warned him that he might encounter a crisis. Bebe said at the time that there was no problem, they were responsible for protecting the law, and Su Yu could just absorb the soul ring with peace of mind. But Su Yu heard another meaning from Huo Yuhao's words. Thinking of Tianmeng Iceworm's help, Su Yu also roughly understood its original intention: leave the Star Dough forest as soon as possible. In this case, we can only give up this attractive cultivation efficiency. Su Yu tried his best to refine the soul ring and soul power this time, without slowing down the refining process. 3 hours later, the dark purple soul ring around Su Yu's body began to gradually converge into his body. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed that little brother Su could absorb a 5,000-year-old soul ring so easily. Although Su Yu's expression was also in pain, there was no heartrending pain, and the meridians and blood vessels in his body did not burst in large areas. Well, these are the experiences Bei gained from his predecessors, a manifestation of leapfrog absorption, but Suyu didn't behave like this at all. No wonder little brother Su said that 6,000 or even 7,000 years can also be considered. 5,000 years is not Suyu's limit. It's a pity that Su Xiaodi has such a terrifying talent, but he has already cultivated it to the point where he can withstand a 7,000-year soul ring in the third ring, but in the end, because of the soul hunting, he couldn't get stuck at this limit. Bei was also upset. If Suyu knew what Bei was thinking, he didn't know what he would think. After all, the reason why he absorbed high-end soul rings was just to refine more soul power, directly increase it by 2 or 3 levels. After the breakthrough, and increase the soul power level faster. As for the effect of the soul ring, the higher the age, the better. But even if the soul ring is worse now, when Suyu replaces the soul ring, the second improvement will be greater. These can all be made up for. The method of soul ring sacrifice is a project that Suyu has been working on. It has already taken shape, but due to insufficient data, the details are not perfect. After absorbing the third soul ring this time and going to the Sun and Moon Empire, Suyu will also use the martial soul ring and other data there to perfect his soul ring sacrifice method as soon as possible. The Sun Moon Empire's research on martial spirits and soul rings has reached a quantitative level, and it has been of unparalleled help to Suyu in his research on the influence and effects of soul rings on martial souls. This is also the reason why Suyu chose the Royal Soul Engineer Academy of the Sun and Moon Empire. Shrek. None of the dogs will go. What can you get by going? Threatened with dismissal. Got a supervisor who was crazy about your cultivation. In a total of 6 hours, Suyu completed absorbing the exploding sky pepper soul ring. Great, the absorption was successful. Tangya was even more excited about this, because Suyu is the blue silvergrass martial spirit. He transcended levels and absorbed the spirit ring, which made Tangya feel instinctively proud. Look, this is the pride of our blue silvergrass spirit masters. The pride of living. How's it going? Little brother Su, how's the soul skill? The soul skill has inherited the characteristics of exploding sky pepper very well. I am very satisfied. Suyu said with a smile. Come on, it's time to leave. Brothers, please give me some recommendation votes. The new book list seems to need data such as recommendation votes, and new books need to be exposed so that they can grow better. Thank you. Chapter 18 The Effect of the Third Soul Ring, please read it. Please recommend. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The 4 of them quickly left the Star Doe forest. On the road, Suyu walked briskly. This third soul skill was more satisfying than he expected. After absorbing the soul ring, Suyu's blue silver grass got his wish and went one step further. The life attribute exploded and became the main attribute of his blue silver grass. The effects brought by the soul ring also perfectly inherit the characteristics of the exploding sky pepper. The first is the improvement in passiveness. The vitality recovery speed of Suyu blue silver grass has been greatly increased. Note that this is the restoration of vitality, not the restoration of blue silver grass. Moreover, as Suyu's cultivation level increases, the upper limit of blue silver grass's vitality will also be greatly increased. The second is the active effect. The soul ring of exploding Tianjiao gives Suyu the ability to explode. When he uses the third soul skill, exploding mark, he can get an all-round improvement of 30%. Of course, such an improvement is also conditional. It requires the consumption of life marks, which are the marks of condensed vitality. Each mark and its condensation also consume a large amount of vitality, and because the explosion is vitality, it will bring serious sequelae and lead to a weak state. However, both the vitality consumed and the weakened state after the explosion can be recovered at a faster speed. This also inherits the characteristics of exploding sky pepper. The recovery of vitality and weakness is faster, but it takes a longer time to condense the mark. Currently, Suyu is the soul master and can condense 3 marks. After absorbing the soul ring, it comes with a life mark. Suyu judged that it would take 10 days to condense the second life mark. It may take 15 days to continue to condense the third mark. It takes about 5 days to condense the first mark from scratch. So far, Suyu's 3 soul rings mainly add vitality attributes, and also have additional abilities. The first soul skill is to restore soul power and restore the state, the second soul skill purifies oneself and eliminates negative states, the third soul skill exploded, in line with Suyu's main line of adding vitality. The combination of soul skill effects is also satisfactory. The effects of these 3 soul skills are all based on the strength of the life attribute of blue-silver grass, with Suyu's exploration of the life attributes of blue-silver grass, and subsequent soul rings blessing the life attributes of blue-silver grass, the effects of these soul skills will gradually become top-notch at the same level. Brother Su, are you really not going to Shrek Academy with us? Yes, Suyu, your age and soul power level fully meet the admission qualifications of Shrek Academy. Bebe Tanya and Huo Yuhao didn't understand Suyu's decision. They planned to persuade Suyu one last time to save his life. Only by going to Shrek Academy can you maximize your potential. Suyu shook his head and rejected their kindness again. No, I already have a goal. The 4 of them went their separate ways. Suyu went all the way west, Bebe Tanya, Huo Yuhao and the others headed towards Shrek Academy. The relationship between the Sun and Moon Empire and the Star Empire is tense. The situation on the border between the 2 sides is very serious, but it is passable on some difficult and dangerous trails. Firstly, caravans need to circulate between countries, and secondly, complete isolation is impossible. Suyu joined the latest caravan from Wanhilu and followed them through the border. Brother Su, this is 1,000 gold soul coins. It is my personal sponsorship for you. The gold soul coins are not much, but they should be enough for your life in Mingdu. Suyu held a letter in his hand, and along with it was a card containing 1,000 gold soul coins. The Ming capital is the most prosperous place in the Sun and Moon Empire, and it is also the destination of the caravans. Only here can you get enough rare goods to resell them back to the Star Luo Empire. After Suyu arrived in Mingdu with the caravan, he went straight to the Sun and Moon Royal Soul Engineer Academy. Sun and Moon Royal Soul Engineer Academy, there were many students and parents who signed up, and they were all queuing up uniformly. Suyu also walked to the last row and queued up honestly. After all, queuing up is a good moral character. The queue was very long, and it would probably take most of the day. Suyu simply took advantage of this time to practice his own practice. He was immersed in his own body, controlling the soul power to spread as much as possible in his body, and sensing the location and distribution of his meridians. With the combination of meditation method and body tempering method, although the cultivation speed has increased, Suyu is still not satisfied. Although the body tempering method has put together a cycle, it is just pieced together without any skills at all. Suyu has been trying to find a special route for soul power to run. Just like the use of soul skills, soul power operates in a specific way and can produce unique effects. As for the meridians in the body, each section is equivalent to a special operation method, which can add effect characteristics to the soul power. In fact, Suyu has initially discovered a structure. The soul power circulates from here and can draw the vitality of the surrounding heaven and earth. In other words, by adding this step to the body tempering method, he can draw the vitality faster. As long as we find another structure that speeds up the absorption of vitality, the effect of the body quenching method can be greatly improved. While exploring, time flies. In the blink of an eye, the team in front had reached the end, and it was finally Suyu's turn. Hello, teacher, I want to apply for the Sun and Moon Royal Soul Engineer Academy. The teacher in charge looked at Suyu's chest and did not see the Soul Master certification badge. Then he glanced at Suyu's hands and eyes. It doesn't look like he has ever held a carving knife. His eyes were dull, and he couldn't possibly have carved the core array. Visibly, the attitude of the teacher in charge has changed. Not to mention indifference, at least the initial enthusiasm has diminished a lot. You're not a soul master. No. I want to apply for the martial arts department in our school. Suyu had already done some research before coming. His goal was to enter the martial arts department first, and then apply for a department transfer during the freshman assessment. Have you ever practiced soul guidance? Although Suyu had a level 3 soul guide dagger before, he had never practiced it. Later, the soul guide was sold. He shook his head. The teacher in charge sighed. You have never learned soul guidance knowledge and have never used soul guidance tools. Why should you join the Royal Soul Engineer Academy? Teacher, do you think I am qualified to join the academy? Suyu said, releasing his martial spirit. The surging blue silver grass emerged from his palm, and 3 soul rings, 1 yellow and 2 purple, floated outside his body, moving up and down. After the baptism of 3 soul rings, Suyu's current blue-silver grass has undergone radical changes. Although the appearance of blue-silver grass can still be recognized, earth-shaking changes have taken place on the inside, on the blue-silver grass. There are dense purple lines and dots of starlight, which contain a kind of explosive vitality. Even if Suyu didn't activate it, there was still a surging vitality rushing towards his face, which made people feel happy both physically and mentally. Soul Lord. The Second Ring of the Millennium. Chapter 19. What is a Soul Guide? Please read. Please recommend. Please collect. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Behind Suyu, there were many students and parents. Everyone was shocked when they saw Suyu's soul ring matching, Soul Lord. The Second Ring of the Millennium. Wherever this is placed, it is quite explosive. Teacher, am I qualified to join the academy? Suyu asked with a smile, holding the blue-silver grass in his hand. The teacher in charge finally regained his composure, nodded, and said excitedly, of course, I'll register you right away. With that said, the teacher began to ask about Suyu's situation. Name? Suyu. What department are you applying for? Martial Soul Department. By the way, teacher, my family is poor and I have never been exposed to soul guidance devices before. But I am really interested in soul guidance devices and want to enter the soul guidance department. I heard that I can switch departments in the future. I also heard that even students from the martial arts department in the academy can borrow information related to soul guidance devices. Is that so? Also, I heard that martial arts majors can also attend some of the soul instructor courses in the academy. The teacher raised his head and glanced at Suyu with an expression of admiration. The expression seemed to say, the soul guide is the strongest. I guess you have a good vision. That the teacher seemed very patient with Suyu, who loved soul tools. If you are so talented in soul master training, what if you are also talented in soul guidance equipment? You did your research very carefully, and there is no problem. Freshmen have an opportunity to adjust their department after enrolling. In the past, the requirements have been to obtain the certification badge of a first-level soul master, or to be proficient in the theoretical knowledge of a second-level soul master and pass the academy's assessment. There are still 2 months left. If you work hard, there is still hope for mastering theoretical knowledge. You can ask the teacher responsible for admission procedures for other details later. I will give you the registration information first. He then continued to ask Suyu for other information. What's the soul power level? Level 33. Level 33. It's not the 31st level. Just after the breakthrough, the teacher in charge was shocked. 12 years old, level 33. Many soul masters in the Sun and Moon Empire use auxiliary drugs in their training. This situation is even more common in the Sun and Moon Royal Soul Engineer Academy. However, those who can afford medicine to assist their cultivation are nobles, and their families must have at least a 5th-level soul engineer or above to be able to afford it, according to what Suyu said about his family's situation, as well as the degree of solidification of his soul power, and his ability to absorb soul rings. Beyond levels, it is at least certain that he cultivated his soul power himself. 12 years old can reach this point. It's really scary. Even Shrek Academy over there may not have geniuses of this level, right? There may be a 12-year-old soul master, but the second ring of 12 years old is a 1,000-year-old soul master. There is absolutely no such thing. And such a genius appeared in the Sun and Moon Royal Soul Engineer Academy. Moreover, I yearn for the soul guide very much. Suddenly, the teacher felt happy. He wrote the word core on the upper right side of Suyu's form. Okay, take the registration form and go to the Academic Affairs Office of the Martial Arts Department to report to Dean Su. Thank you, teacher. Suyu thanked him. There is definitely no need to go to the deputy dean for new students to register. This teacher must have given special care by asking him to go to that Dean Su. As for why Dean Su is the vice president, the dean of the Sun and Moon Royal Soul Engineer Academy is Jing Hongchen, and Suyu still knows this. Martial Arts Department Teaching Office. Su Yu pressed the office bell. After a long time, someone came out to open the door. What comes into view is a platform full of technology, with various rare metals on it, as well as large and small metals carved into different styles. Well, Su Yu looked back at the label on the office and confirmed that this was the Academic Affairs Office of the Martial Arts Department. "What are you doing?" Su Yu could feel the impatience from the tone of the Deputy Dean of the Martial Arts Department. "Hello, Dean Su, I am a new student this year. The teacher in charge of registration asked me to come here to register with you with this." Su Kun suppressed his inner irritation, took the registration form, glanced at it, and his eyes suddenly condensed. Soul Lord. The second ring of the millennium, 12 years old. However, it is possible to cultivate the martial spirit of blue-silver grass so quickly. Su Kun looked at the suspected martial soul mutation mentioned on the table and decided to check it himself. A powerful aura erupted from Su Kun, and Su Yu felt awe-inspiring, because around Su Kun, there were 8 soul rings floating in the air, 2 yellow, 2 purple, 4 black. Just for a moment, Su Yu felt that his body was about to be crushed, and he instinctively summoned the blue-silver grass martial spirit. As soon as the blue-silver grass appeared, Su Yu's pressure was relieved. 4. Blue-silver grass, its strong vitality also means the development of its tenacious will. Even if Su Kun's soul power pressure increased to level 40, Su Yu still managed to hold on. Su Kun felt it carefully and nodded. He was very satisfied with Su Yu's performance and got the answer he wanted. So that's it, a mutated martial spirit, and a mutated life attribute. No wonder then, Su Yu heard Su Kun's muttering and did not correct him. My own blue-silver grass is just the most common blue-silver grass, and everything that exists is achieved through the combination of soul rings, but there is no need to be serious about things like this that are related to your own cultivation secrets. Teacher, I am actually interested in soul guidance devices and want to transfer to the soul guidance department in 2 months, but I didn't have enough conditions before. I had never been exposed to soul guidance devices, and I didn't have any learning in this area. Do you think I still have a chance? Su Yu glanced at the production table behind Su Kun and felt that although Dean Su was the deputy dean of the martial arts department, he was also a soul cultivation instructor. Saying such words at this time should not cause dissatisfaction on the other side. Sure enough, Su Kun was not dissatisfied because Su Yu now said in his martial arts academic affairs office that he wanted to go to the soul guidance department. How much do you know about soul guides? Su Kun asked. Basically don't understand. Okay, then what do you think a soul guide is? Su Kun asked in a different form. Su Yu thought for a moment, prepared his words, and said, I think soul guides are a possibility for soul masters to take a step further. Oh. Please elaborate. Su Kun looked at Su Yu in surprise and raised his hand to signal Su Yu to elaborate. Strength is fundamental, whether it is the training of martial souls or the training of soul teachers, they are all chasing strength. Regarding the individual heights of the two, it is not worth mentioning which one is stronger and which one is weaker. The combination of the two is definitely the strongest. After all, a soul master's training has its limits, and soul guides can further enhance the soul master's combat power after his cultivation reaches the limit. Soul guides can only exert greater power in the hands of strong people. On the other hand, the soul master's martial soul limits the development direction of a soul master, but the soul guide can make up for this very well. Auxiliary system soul masters who have dreams of attacking the system can rely on soul guides to realize their dreams. Chapter 20. This is so interesting. Please read it. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Su Kun nodded. Su Yu's concept is easy to understand, especially after considering that Su Yu himself has been an orthodox soul master so far and has the life-attributed blue-silver grass martial soul. It's nothing more than the pursuit of strength. The combination of soul guide and soul master system has a higher upper limit. What's more, a martial soul like him that is obviously an auxiliary can also successfully gain combat effectiveness with the help of soul guides. Okay, I already have a basic understanding of your situation. Su Kun pressed a button on the desk, and soon a bald teacher came to the office. Dean Su, what are your orders? Teacher Kong, this is this year's new student. Here is his information. Please take him through the admission procedures. Okay. Kong Yu checked Su Yu's registration form and looked at Su Yu curiously. Are you sure you want to apply for the Soul Guidance Department? You have proven your talent in martial arts training. However, your talent in soul guidance equipment is still unknown. Once you don't have the talent in this area, you are likely to waste a lot of time, which will affect your future. If you want to use soul tools, our martial arts department also has related courses. Many students in the martial arts department ask students from the soul guidance department to customize soul guidance tools. Fighting in the martial arts department does not rely solely on the power of martial arts. Many assessments also allow the use of soul guidance weapons. Kong Yu looked like a professional teacher at first sight and quickly explained the pros and cons clearly, and he raised an important point, that is, whether Suyu wants to use the soul guide to fight, or whether he wants to make a soul guide. Suyu didn't hesitate. His golden finger is his heaven-defying understanding. How can it be difficult to learn a soul guide? Moreover, the soul guide that you make yourself is the most suitable for you, Suyu insisted. But Kong Yu did not continue to persuade and led Suyu out of the academic affairs office. Su Kun thought for a while and recorded Suyu's situation. This is the freshman dormitory of the martial arts department. If you can successfully be admitted to the soul guidance department, you can choose to change dormitories. Or you can continue to live here. Also, the transfer assessment for the soul guidance department is at the end of the first month after the semester starts. It's about 2 months away from now. I see in your profile that you are a soul guidance novice. If you are really interested in soul guidance devices, you must enter the soul guidance system. Then I suggest you study theory, take the exam first and then talk about it. Over there is the college's library, which contains basic course materials for soul guides. I will apply for a student card for you later. With the card, you can go to the library to check information. Also, the canteen is over there. Kong Yu methodically instructed Suyu on some basic common sense. Suyu, yeah, I understand, thank you teacher. After all the formalities were finally completed, Suyu came to his dormitory with his student card and laid out the bedding that he had prepared long ago, as well as all kinds of toiletries. Everything in the Sun and Moon Royal Soul Engineer Academy is very advanced. The process of civilianization of soul guidance tools has begun, and it has become even more popular in the Sun and Moon Soul Tutor Academy, which symbolizes the highest level of soul guidance tools. Everything is new. The only problem is that these soul guides need to be charged manually, that the technology of sealing milk bottles has not yet been realized. Although there are milk bottles in these soul guides, the soul power in them is being lost all the time. In addition, the consumption of soul guides makes the charging frequency high. This is also the biggest obstacle to the civilianization of soul guidance devices. Suyu's dormitory is a double room. Strictly speaking, it's not yet the enrollment time, there's still 1 month left. Suyu is enrolling in school early, so he doesn't have a roommate yet. Learn how to make soul guidance tools first, and then enter the soul guidance system. In addition to daily practice, Suyu decided to slow down other processes first. His life is very regular. Every day is the library, canteen, and dormitory. Dean Su, this is Suyu's daily activity. Su Kun looked at the records on his desk of what Suyu did every day, what he ate, and what materials he borrowed from the library. Dean, this is Suyu's identity investigation report. The teacher took out another report. Suyu's identity certificate has just been processed, and the Sun and Moon Empire does not have any records about Suyu. He entered Mingdu with the Wanhila caravan from the Star Luo Empire. Most likely they are from the Star Luo Empire. The teacher hesitated to speak and did not continue. Su Kun raised his hand and said, I know what you mean, and I have also doubted it. However, Suyu's talent is so powerful. If it were you, would you send him to an enemy country to serve as a spy? Suyu's potential is huge, there is no doubt about this. The quality of his martial spirit, Su Kun felt at the beginning, was close to the top martial spirit, plus the foundation laid by the first 3 soul rings. There is hope for title Douluo, and Suyu himself aspires to become a soul mentor. So the lack of combat power of the blue-silver grass spirit can be made up for. With such a genius, there was no reason for the Star Luo Empire to send Fong Fong to the Sun and Moon Empire to work undercover. Hearing what Su Kun said, the teacher didn't say anything further. His task had been completed, and it was Su Kun's decision what to do next. The teacher left, and Su Kun sat alone behind his desk, tapping his fingers on the table and focusing on Suyu's information. People from the Star Luo Empire, Wan Hu Tower. Subsequently, he destroyed Su Yu's identity information, Wanhilu. This is an interesting chamber of commerce. Su Kun looked at Su Yu's itinerary and learned from it. It's really just about learning from scratch. Although Su Yu's learning efficiency is a bit fast, the order of learning is really to establish the framework bit by bit. Moreover, there were some errors and omissions in the materials I chose to borrow, but they were quickly adjusted. Su Yu had no idea that the origins of all his actions had been presented to Dean Su in the form of a report. Of course, even if he knew this, he wouldn't care. There is no ghost in my heart. So what are I afraid of? The soul guidance device can indeed become another major system alongside the soul master's training. The more Su Yu studied the information about the soul guide, the more he felt emotional. Soul guides are indeed profound, the most important part, that is, the construction of the core array is a profound knowledge. In the core array, each line has its own profound meaning, and they are also interconnected and communicate with each other. Together they have the effect of 1 plus 1 being greater than 2, the problem is to connect these lines from beginning to end to form a complete circuit. This is simply. It's so interesting. Su Yu also developed a strong interest in soul guides. It's like solving a math problem. If you really get involved and have the ability to figure it out, you will get an unparalleled sense of satisfaction the moment you figure it out.